What's going on, guys? In this video I'm going to break down everything that you need to know to obtain the endgame Artian parts, your rusted weapon shards, your ancient weapon shards, everything that you need to make Artian weapons, to get as many as possible. So do this before Capcom will nerf this. I don't usually make these kind of videos, but it's just worthy to note to get as much materials as you can, because this will help you out in the long run if you're trying to make all kinds of Artian weapons. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Now you're probably wondering how the heck can we get so many Artian weapon parts, and it's all because of these two little flowers that spawn only during a certain time of night in the Windward Plains. And if you trigger a certain optional quest with Alma, you'll be able to redo this quest over and over again, and then you'll farm these ephemeral blossoms, and these are the key of getting our tickets in order to get a bunch of Artian weapon parts. So the first thing that we're going to do is head over to Alma, and then you are going to choose a optional quest, and that optional quest is fighting a Balahara, and the quest is called The Desert Knows Not the Sea. And this quest always triggers a certain time of night, which allows us to have these flowers bloom at almost instantly as soon as we get to the first flower. It might take a couple seconds, but soon after you get to the location, after I show you guys here, then you'll be able to harvest this one. And then there is a second location that I'll show you here in a second, but it is good to know that you can put a pop-up camp near this second location, but it is a kind of a dangerous area, so make of it as what you will. If you just want to try and farm it, then you can just quickly fast travel to that camp. That way you can make the farming method a little bit faster. But all in all, we're pretty much trying to get as many of these night flower pollens as much as possible. Now the second location is actually pretty close to the base camp. It's over on this ridge here on my map, about northwest of where that monster is, the Kumatrice there, and area 10. But there is a pop-up camp location that you can put there, as I was stating before, that you can put a camp there, so that way you can just fast travel to here. Now be mindful, like I said, it is a very dangerous spot, so it might get destroyed in a couple runs, but to speed up the process just a little bit, you can just pop that there and then head over to the second location of the flower. And then after you obtain the second one, then you can just easily return from a quest and start this process all over again. Now you can easily get about maybe 50 of these in about an hour, which is great, because what I'm about to show you next is how we actually get our gold melding tickets in order for us to get the Artian parts. Now once you obtain quite a few of these flowers, this is where it is pretty much just waiting and resting, waiting and resting. You want to go over to Nata and you want to do the item trade, and you want to talk to Seka, and you'll see here night flower pollens for hard armor spheres, which is not what we want. We want to have the golden melding ticket, which allows us to have 1200 points per ticket, which allows us to get at least 75 of these Artian parts, especially for the top tier, the ancient weapon shards. So it's spending a little bit of guild points. It's 300 guild points to go into your tent and rest. You can rest at any time of the day. You can do morning, evening, daytime, any part of the day. You can come over there, rest, go back, talk to Nada. Then once you do the item trade, this is what you're looking for, the gold relic ticket, and you can only do one per trade. So this is part of the farm of trying to go back into your tent, resting, and going back into your tent and resting again to try and get as many of these tickets as possible. Now once you get about 5 of these, this is where you want to head over to the melding pot and turn in these tickets. Now, once you head over to the melting pot, you want to go to meld relics, and then you want to choose your weapon shards. Now, if you're wondering why you don't have the ancient weapon shards, you have to be at least hunter rank 50, which is kind of where you start opening up the double tempered hunts, and you'll know exactly when you'll be able to do that. And then after that, that's when I was able to obtain the ancient weapon shards, which is the highest rarity tier of the Artian weapons. But still, even doing the rusted here, as you can see here, I got a ton of different weapon parts, and that is what these gold tickets are for. So that is pretty much the farm, guys. It's getting a bunch of these flowers, going and resting and talking to Nada. Try to get your trade with Seka, get as much of these gold tickets, and then turning them into the melting pot. And like I said, guys, you have to be at least hunter rank 50 to get the highest rarity tier of Artian weapon parts, but still getting the rusted ones. If you're still working your way up through high rank, getting the rusted ones are not bad, because you can still possibly turn those parts into better parts later on. But if you're already hunter rank 50 and you're able to get the ancient ones, then this guide is probably a very beneficial guide to get higher tier Artian weapon parts, where it makes it much easier on making higher quality and whatever Artian weapons that you guys are looking and crafting for. Just gives you more of a better chance. So again, guys, typically I don't make these videos, but Capcom might nerf this later on. I don't know what part of it they'll nerf. I don't know if they'll nerf the quest. I don't know if they'll nerf the drop chance of the flower. I have no clue, but just stick to it. I would say just get a bunch of these flowers as much as possible, and then try to focus your way on farming Nada and getting those gold melding tickets, and then go from there. So that's going to be it for me, guys. If you found this video useful, then make sure to drop a like and consider subscribing to the channel. We got more Monster Hunter Wilds coming your way. And then I'll see y'all in the next video. Deuces.